how can I find vocal melodies when playing guitar? I think he likes to play to like to play them when he's playing with the band. He wants to play the vocal melody as well. How does he do that?
So that's an interesting question. I'm assuming the question is, how do I know where to find like maybe the music or tabs or something like that for the vocal melody? There's generally not a lot of that available. But first of all, I would say it's a great idea, and I suggest you practice it when you're playing the guitar, and especially if you're playing lead, to try to copy a vocalist, because your guitar playing will develop a vocal quality to it. And that's really what makes people want to listen. Most of us love like a good singer that you really like. You really tune into it, right? It's great. It can move you to tears. And people like Eric Clapton, John Mayer, B.B. King, etc., all those great guitar players that can really move you with their guitar playing, it's because they have a vocal-like quality to their playing. It's that they're singing through their guitar. And first of all, I highly recommend that you work on that in general, because your guitar playing will just sound better and it will be more fun and more fulfilling when you play it. But in terms of how do you find, vocal music, and how do you start playing that on your guitar? Well, personally, I prefer not to have music to look at. I prefer not to have something to depend on or have to rely on, like a chord chart or a tab. I never ever look at tabs. I never ever read sheet music anymore, right? I prefer just to have my guitar, myself, and being able to play whatever it is I want to play. So some of this is going to involve a little bit of ear training, and specifically within a particular scale, let's say the major scale, for example, you want to do some ear training and start to learn how to sing, or at least hear in your head the notes of the scale. Now, when you can do that, then you can go listen to a song of somebody who's singing, and you can then know how to compare the notes that they're hitting to the notes in the scale. And by the way, that's a good distinction to make, by the way. When people are singing, what they are singing is the notes in the scale of the key that they're in. If your ear isn't developed yet to a point where you can hear somebody singing and kind of pick out what they're doing in the scale, you can literally just do it the trial and error way first. You can literally just look up the key on Google of whatever the song is, and then play that particular scale, the notes of that scale, and then you can figure out, by kind of trial and error, by listening to it, what a person is singing. But obviously, it's better, in my opinion, if you don't have to rely on that, and if your ear is a little bit more developed because you have worked on developing it, and you're able to hear the notes, for example, in a major scale, and you know what key a song is in, and you can listen to the rise and fall of the pitch of the person singing and match that to the notes in the scale and be able to play it on your guitar. The first step of that would be, well, 3 steps. First step would be do some ear training. Train your ear on the major scale to hear the major scale. Okay, you can do it. It does take effort. It takes effort for everybody. Just do it. It's going to pay off in dividends because it's going to help you, just like working out in the gym helps you play any sport. Training your ear will help you play any music on any instrument. Okay, it's going to help you learn music better too. First step is to do some ear training. The second step is whenever you have a song that you want to copy the vocalist on, find out whatever scale they're singing in and pick out little by little, pick out the notes, the basic notes that they're singing. Don't try to do any vibrato. Don't try to do any embellishments. Don't try to slide the voice around like they do with their voice, right? Just hit the very basic cookie cutter notes. Once you have the very basic cookie cutter notes, the next step is when you add the embellishments, when you add the little trills or the vibrato, or you slide into a note, slide out of a note, etc. So that's a 3-step process on how you can start playing what people are singing and really start to sound vocal with your guitar playing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I used to play at a church here in Franklin, Tennessee, that did on Wednesday nights. It was like almost all improvisation. Like they play a couple songs and then we just improv for a good hour or so. And I realized that they'd be pulling out songs. I'm like, oh man, what are they doing? So I would sit down and practice learning my intervals. So like I would, if we're playing in G, I'd be like, okay, what does G to A sound like? Okay, what does G to C sound like? What does D to E sound like? And I would get used to that. So then when they would start just throwing out different chord progressions, I would be able to track better and learn my the melodies better. So ear training, that's a huge one. Yep. Yeah, I completely agree. All righty, then last question. If you guys ready for this one? You guys ready for this? You ready for this, Johnathan?
I don't know. Should I be?
Hopefully. All right. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. We would love it if you hit the like button, leave a comment below, tell us what you thought about it, and subscribe to the channel.
We're going to release really great content, some great backing tracks so you can practice your guitar skills on. And if you're interested in taking your guitar to the next level, we have a free course that we want to give to you. It's in the description of this video. It's going to help you discover how to freely express yourself on guitar without endless amounts of scales and theory. So check it out and let us know what you think. Thanks.